In order to come here, we came under the law of birth. In order to leave here, we leave under the law of death. You could be white, black, rich, poor, holy, unholy. Don't make any difference. You come through birth.
Yes, sir.
And no matter what your station in life is, death catches all. Equality. Now, God has made some things to excel others. He has made, according to the Quran, some prophets to excel others. He makes some men to excel others. This is why if you run track, everybody doesn't reach the finish line at the same time.
That's right.
Somebody wins the race.
Yes, sir.
Everybody don't hoop the same. Everybody don't play the same. Everybody doesn't sing the same. But the beauty of the creation is all stars don't give forth the same degree of light, but what makes them beautiful is the constellation. This smaller one, this larger one, this one of lesser light matched with this one of greater light. That's what makes beauty. So, but each one of us are from God. Some have more of this or less of that, but each one of us has something that the Creator gave to you that makes you unique and special. Do you understand that? Now, all right. The Quran says that the male is a degree above the female.
Yes, sir.
So both the Bible and the Quran give the male not only the right, but the authority to be the head of his house.
Yes, sir.
But in order to be a head, you got to have a head. And the thing that creates so much violence in the home is because we don't have the wisdom in the head to rule the house, but we have the instinctive understanding that we're supposed to be the boss. Now that's a heck of a thing. You don't have the wisdom to be the boss, but your nature's telling you you are the boss. Now check this out. You see these beautiful brother police officers here. The star that they have on represents authority. And what they wear gives them the right to enforce their authority on those who disrespect it. Now the officer may come, he may not be kind or sweet. All right, move up the corner. I remember the hardest kick I ever got in my backside was from a brother, I won't call his name, but I love him. He was a police officer. And he laid that foot on my back because I didn't move fast enough. But, you know, he had rights, I had rights. But he had authority. And there's a difference. We all got rights, but somebody has to have authority. Now the police knows he's in authority. So when he says something, if you woof on him, he said, now this man is questioning my authority. Now he's got to show you who is really in authority. And of course he calls for backup in case. Look at you got rights.
Yes, sir.
You got rights. But instinctively, you know you got authority. So you raise your voice. Look. And she comes back. Look, look, look. And you start living in her mouth like a dentist to try to enforce your authority. So there's a whole lot of wife beating going on. There's a whole lot of violence in the home going on.
Yes, sir.
It's because you're stressed out as a man in a white society
Yes, sir.
where nobody respects you as a man.
Go ahead. Educate.
The dog doesn't even come when you call. So when you get home, you just saying, give me a little R-E-S-P-E-C-T, or I'll bust you in your... But brother, the stress level that we function at makes us violent when we don't intend to be.
Yes, sir.
Easily upset. And we sometimes, oftentimes, hurt the ones that we love the most. When I was a young boy in Roxbury, we would fight, and usually every young man carried a knife, but we never carried guns. Some of us had a pistol, but the majority of us had a little switchblade, which was not unlawful to sell, but illegal to carry. I don't quite understand how this is. Unlawful for us to gamble, but it's legal for them to sell us the crap. Give the dice. White folk are making a modern slave plantation from the prison system.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If 24% of the prison population or 24% of young black men are either in prison or under some form of court supervision, that's a lot of men. Prison building is big business now.
That's right.
So they're building more and more and more prisons. For who? America has become the largest incarcerator of human beings in the world. So when they put you away, 3 strikes and you're in.
That's right. Yes, sir.
For 26 years to life, then they got you for the rest of your days to work for 3 or 6 cents an hour, which is modern slavery in the name of criminal justice. Now, brothers, if you and I are from the same essence, and that essence is God, then when you see your brother, you're looking at a manifestation of God.
Yes, sir.
This is why Jesus said, how can you, or one of the apostles said, how can you love God whom you have never seen and hate your brother whom you see every day? I see you, you see me. I know who I'm looking at. when I look at you.
Yes, sir.
That's why I tell my brothers, be respectful.
Yes, sir. You do.
Of every human being.
Yes, that's what it said.
When I see you, brother, I know I'm looking at a manifestation of divine, of God himself. One of his manifestations. I don't have to wait to see God to bow. I bow when I meet you. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that we should call one another brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And when we speak to one another, we should speak with respect. Yes, sir.
That's right.
No, sir. Who are you talking to? Every time I talk to you, I'm talking to my commanding officer. You don't know you're my superior, but I know who you are. So I'm responsible to act in accord with what I know. You are my superior in many respects, and I am your superior in some respects. Do you understand? Each one of us is a manifestation of God. So, when the brother calls you brother, don't say, hey, don't call me a brother. My mother ain't never made nothing ugly like
Yes,
you.
sir.
When you look at your brother sitting next to you, standing around you, look at him with a new vision now. Say, whoa, I'm looking at a manifestation of God. Check this out. Jesus came into the world. He was a very unusual being. And the disciples asked Jesus, Jesus, would you teach us how to pray? And he said, pray on this wise. Our Father. Stop. He didn't say, my Father, but not yours.
Go ahead.
If my Father made me Jesus, and he's your Father too, then you and Jesus are brothers. Because he who has the same Father is a brother.
Yes, sir.
So when you shoot your brother, when you cut your brother and see your brother's blood, when you drive by and you shoot indiscriminately and a baby dies innocently because of our madness, you're killing a bit of yourself as well as a bit of God.
Yes, sir.
And you are making yourself an enemy of God, who came to put a stop to the killing and who came to make us brothers of one another. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, recognizing that we didn't know how to treat one another, he said, put away the gun.
That's right.
He disallowed us to carry so much as a penknife. Do you know why? Because the moment you get angry,
That's right.
you reach not here for some intelligence to solve a problem. You reach for whatever's in your pocket.
That's right.
And in passion, you destroy a human life. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, put your weapon down. In fact, he told us, get rid of your guns.
That's what he said. Get rid of it.
None of these carry a weapon.
No, we don't. That's right.
We won't carry a gun, brothers. We have patrols that patrol some of the roughest project houses in America,
Yes, sir.
but we will not go to our brother with a gun in our hands Because we know who you are, we respect you, and we love you, and we came from you, and we will never throw off on you. And so, dear officers, in order to get respect, you have to give it.
That's right.
Give it. These are not savages. These are men of God.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Right.
I went to a prison one day, and I went up on a block that they called Death Row, because everybody on that block was there for the rest of his natural life with no chance of parole. When I went up on the block, I said, I would like to go in and talk to the brothers. They said, no, you talk to them from this side. I said, brother, I can't talk to my brothers in a cage.
That's right. Listen.
Let me go in. He said, I would not advise you to go in there. And he's a brother, I mean, he had muscle, he was big, huge.
Yes, sir.
And I looked like a little lamb, and he swore they were going to eat me up in there. I said, brother, I have to go in there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He hit a button, and the big gate opened. He hit another button, and the cell doors opened. Just like you were in a zoo. And the men filed out. There were about 12 black, 3 Hispanic, and 2 white. They all came out. And when you saw them file out of the cells, it was like watching a panther or a leopard or a lion come out. You know how a man is when he's caged.
Yes, sir.
And they came out. They had heard of Farrakhan. I said, brothers, I want to talk with you. Let's get some chairs and sit in a semicircle. They went, they got a chair, and I got one, and they sat around me. And I began to teach them. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught me that if you put the right word in a person's ear, within 500 seconds or 8 minutes and 20 seconds, you'll see a change come over the person. He said the light of the sun traveling at the speed of 186,000 miles per second, that is 93 million miles from the earth, takes 500 seconds or 8 minutes and 20 seconds to strike the earth. And it said the blood traveling from the heel to the head and back to the heel again takes that same amount of time.
Yes, sir.
And if you put the right word containing light and power and energy in the ear,
That's right, Lamb.
as the blood courses through the brain, it picks up the electrical energy of the truth that has entered the ear. And all of a sudden, it goes through the body, energizing the whole body. And within 8 minutes and 20 seconds, you look at the person, you see a change in that individual. Within 10 minutes, I called the God.
Come on.
Listen.
I said, look at them.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And he looked. There was light in their faces.
Yes, sir.
I said, these are animals.
That's right.
These are human beings
That's what they are.
that have been deprived of the light of knowledge. that have been deprived of the light of knowledge. You are not animals.
That's right. Yes, sir.
You are human and divine beings who have been deprived of the light of knowledge.
That's right.
And as long as nobody comes to you to bring you that kind of light, there will never be a change in your life.
That's right.
College will not give it to you. Listen, professor, I don't care how many degrees you got. No college degree transforms human life.
That's right. Yes, sir.
You got knowledge, but the effect of it is a knowledgeable Negro.
That's right.
A knowledgeable black man who does nothing productive.
Yes, right.
We don't need just that kind of knowledge. We need that kind of divine knowledge that brings about a transformation in human life. I'm almost finished, brother. The reason you're in this condition has nothing to do with you. The enemy wanted to reduce the black man to a powerless people who would perpetually be under his foot.
That's right.
You have become troublesome now because you don't want to be under his foot anymore, but don't know how to get your own foot out of your own way.
Hey.
So somebody has to help you. The scripture says, how can they know except they have a preacher? And how can they have a preacher except he be sent? Follow me now.
Yes, sir. Educated.
The thing that got you and me messed up is our powerlessness. No man can be a man without power. No man can exercise his authority as a man without power. No man in this world can have power and not have money. If you don't have money in this world, you don't have power. Therefore, no man can be a man with just knowledge and no money. Knowledge must lead you to money. And then money will lead you to good homes and friendship. And money will enable you to do for yourself and your wife and your children what you know you should do as a man.
That's right.
But without money and without knowledge and without power, you become a madman. So I saw a black brother on television the other day. He had shot up somebody in a carjacking. And the white reporter was asking him, how did you feel?
Think about that.
He said, when I had the gun in my hand, I felt invincible. That's a heavy statement.
Yes, sir.
That gun gave him a sense of real power. He felt that if he went up to another man and said, give it up, that man would give it up. And then he could pump lead in him and watch him give up the most precious of all gifts, his life.
That's right.
I'm bad. I got power. I got a gun. Who gave you the gun? And what's more important, why did he give you the gun? When you know that the enemy has never wanted to see black men armed, why now are arms so prevalent in the black community?
Yes.
Let's talk. You don't have power, you want power. You don't have power, you want to access access power. So power then, to some, as Mao Zedong said, power grows out of the barrel of a gun. Wrong, Mao.
Come on, tell him.
Wrong.
That's right, wrong.
But since you don't know where real power comes from, somebody put a gun in your hand and you feel, damn,
Right. Yes, sir.
I got power. Let me go try this out. Who you gonna try your power out on? See, you don't go into South Boston and try out your power. There's no drive-by shootings in South Boston or East Boston or Roslindale. Come on. There's no drive-by shooting in Newton. But there's drive-by shooting in Roxbury. Drive-by shooting in Dorchester. Why? Because you have never been trained to use your power against those who deprived you of it. You just trying out your power on your own neighbor, your own brother, your own family member. Who put the guns in your hand? You know you can't go to a gun store. Most of us in this room have been arrested for something. Is that right? So you can't go to a gun store. You can't go to the gun store and say, hey, I want a 45, I want an AK. I want a... They say, what's your name? Forget my name. They put that name in the computer. They say, you better get out of here. So most of the guns that you have are illegal weapons, which automatically gives the authority of the police, when they find you with an illegal weapon, a chance to put you away for 5 years.
That's right.
If they wish to. And if it's involved with a violent crime, you know how much more time is added to that. So here they got slave labor. They had your great-grandfather.
Right.
He working from can't see morning to can't see night. Some slave master tell him, get up!
That's right.
Lay down.
Come on.
What?
That's right.
Now you got somebody saying, all right.
Yes, sir. Yes, yes.
Roll call. By the numbers. You're a slave again.
Yeah. Think about it.
A powerless slave again. Brothers, let me hasten because I don't want to keep you long. They put the gun in your hand to set up the black community for the bigger gun.
Yes.
Right.
They want to give you a sense of power so you will terrorize your own community. It makes it very hard for me to teach black people to love one another when it's my brother who's breaking into my house,
Go ahead.
carjacking me, drive-by shooting, selling dope to my child, trying to put my daughter out on the block.
That's right.
You can't love people who do that to you. So hate is multiplying in the black community. Us against us. So the women are sick of it, burying their sons, burying their children. So they're crying out, can't you send the National Guard in? Don't you ever think that the police don't have firepower to deal with this. They not only have enough firepower to deal with this, they have the backup of the National Guard and the federal troops. So what is the black community being set up for?